time for 2021. Let's see what the world can throw at us.
Narrator voice, that was a mistake.
I know I said this last year, but this year was a mess. But that doesn't mean it was all bad. We still, as always, had a lot of great video games to play. And that's what really counts, right? If you watched my video last year, you'll already know how I'm doing this. However, for those who haven't, here's a quick rundown. This is a list of games that I played this year. That doesn't necessarily mean they came out this year, however there is some crossover. I will also be releasing a video alongside this, showcasing my top 5 least favorite games from this year. Cause I figure why not? Let's get a little criticism in here. But all that out of the way, let's talk about my top 5 favorite games I played in 2021. Metopia was a game that came out in 2016 on the 3DS that I never got around to playing. But with the re-release on Switch this year, I decided, why not? Might as well pick it up. And I ended up having a blast with it. The core gameplay is pretty simple, traveling across the world, battling enemies. The game even honestly lets you autoplay it. But that's not the real draw of all this. The real fun comes from using your own Mii characters to fill all the roles, like an insane game of Mad Libs. Fighting alongside Dio Brando, Dr. Robotnik, Princess Bubblegum, Mike Wazowski, and Kermit the Frog to take down the Dark Lord Donkey Kong. His name is Lanky Kong, why did I call him Donkey Kong? And meeting travelers along the way, like the mayor of the town, Cell, the great sage Lady Gaga, and the genie himself, Will Smith, provides an entertaining crossover experience that not even Smash Brothers can replicate. What really makes all these interactions great is that you just create the character and put them in a role. Every interaction after that, they form on their own. They make friendships, hang out with each other, and just kinda go about their own business with their own set personality traits. And the in-depth character customization and ability to share these online have created a wonderful resource to pull from to fill all these roles with whatever characters you want. It's a surprisingly good game that I will be coming back to in the future, for sure. I grew up on a lot of farming sim, life sim type games, Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, all those style of games. So when I saw a friend playing a game called Littlewood, I figured I might as well check it out. The premise is cute and fun. You're an adventurer, a hero of the world. But your adventure's already done. You've already saved everyone. Now you get to just enjoy your life. You're given a town to build and recreate however you'd like, and plenty of villagers to befriend and even marry. While there is a story, sort of an epilogue to your adventure to somewhat explore, the main focus is on gathering resources to build your town however you'd like to. What makes it interesting apart from other simulation games is how time progresses. Every action you take, every resource you collect, progresses the day further. It's like an energy system, moving the day along. Whereas a lot of games follow either the real-world time or have their own internal clock systems that move faster, this game really lets you go at your own pace. Time only advances as you do. Along with passing the time, every action you take gives you experience in that area, allowing you to unlock new skills, better weapons, and more resources. There does reach a point where you unlock tools that actually start to break the game, letting you reset the time of day to get all your energy back or skip forward in time. But these are optional and don't really affect anything as far as building your town goes. Also, side note, there's a whole card game system where you collect and battle each other that's actually kind of fun. You have different elemental monsters, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. I hope to see more games like this in the future. It's a good, fun little escape. Now, I'm a big fan of party games, so this next spot had to go to 2 games, actually. If you watched any of my streams this past year, specifically the Nintendo Direct ones, you'll recognize the excitement I had for these. Oh, hell yes! No! Both Mario Party and WarioWares were instant buys for me, no questions asked. I won't spend too long on this because this would cover 2 whole slots, but I do want to highlight a couple things I really enjoy about these games. WarioWare has a unique take on a party game formula, whereas each character controls differently and functions entirely differently. Some minigames will be easy with certain characters, others near impossible. Learning all the different playstyles, and especially mixing them all up and using them randomly, is a blast. Not to mention that you can customize them and color them with different skins. It makes for a playstyle that feels really unique. Mario Party Superstars does the one thing that the series has desperately needed for a while to really save it: online play. Playing Mario Party against CPUs is fine. I've done it for a long time. But it's a whole different ballgame when you're playing against actual people. Even though they're old minigames and maps, they don't feel like they're nostalgia bait or anything. They still feel new and fresh and exciting. Both of these games have done fantastic things for their series, and I really hope to see them continue on from here. Metroid is one of the few Nintendo properties that I am a stranger to. Much like Earthbound and Fire Emblem were to me up until a couple years ago, I only knew about it through Smash Brothers. But Metroid Dread sure seemed to be carrying a lot of hype with it, so it was worth looking into. And yeah, I can see what that hype's about. Metroid's level design is something that has always intimidated me. It seemed to be so much, so confusing, I didn't understand how to keep track of it all. And speaking without any experience of prior games, I can say that the level design in Dread does a wonderful job of always kind of conveying where you need to go. It doesn't hold your hand, it doesn't tell you, like, with a giant flashing arrow, this is where you need to go. But if you're paying attention to the environment and your objective, you can always follow the path you need to be on. One of my favorite things in a video game is when you're able to come back to an area you were before with new powers and discover new things, or even clear it a lot easier, and Metroid is perfect for that. And boy, Dread manages to live up to its namesake. The Emmy creatures are absolutely terrifying. I haven't experienced many things that scare me as much as being chased down as one of these, and it makes the satisfaction of killing one of them so rewarding. Everything in this game is beautiful, and praise especially needs to be given to everybody who worked on any kind of design elements or graphics or anything. Especially Samus herself. I think it's the gravity suit, the purple one you get. Oh, that is so good. That is peak character design right there. I haven't spoiled much of the story because it really needs to be experienced firsthand, but it does a great job of catching you up if you're not familiar with what's been going on in the Metroid universe. I will say this one thing though about the final battle with Ravenbeak. When he enters his third phase, and you shoot off one of his wings, and then you get a little cutscene of him ripping the other one off, that is insane. That is one of the coolest things I have ever seen in all of video games. That is so intense. I love it. Whether you've been with Samus since the beginning, or if you're even a newcomer like me, you definitely need to pick up Metroid Dread. I have never played a MOBA game before. They never really seemed like my cup of tea, and with things like League of Legends and stuff, there just seems to be too much going on screen to keep track of. And one of the last things I expected to ever see a MOBA of was Pokemon. Really any Nintendo franchise, but Pokemon especially. I was very skeptical to say the least, so I didn't approach the game in the first month of its release. I did have some respect for it for its roster choices, with things like Crustle and Cramorant getting attention, and eventually I decided it was worth giving it a try, play a couple games, not really get the hang of it, and then forget about it, no big deal. And, well, see how that turned out. Battles take just the right amount of time. A 10-minute timer is perfect. You can feel invested in a match, but it's not dragging on forever and ever. And you can reach a point where you can realize, hey, we're not going to win this, we can surrender the match. The roster is what really gives this game strength, and the fact that they're constantly adding new characters like at least once a month. You have your basic pick, Kanto starters of course, other starters like Greninja and Cinderace that are really popular, your Lucario, stuff like that. But even though they're basic choices, they still have very unique styles of gameplay. And then you get more interesting Pokemon that you wouldn't expect to be in a fighting type game. Eldegoss, Crustle, Greedent, Cramorant, Blissey. All of these Pokemon occupying different roles and having their own unique playstyles that you really would not expect in something like this. It opens the door for so many new Pokemon possibilities to represent different creatures that haven't been really represented in the series before, and may even give you a new appreciation for some of them. Me, for example, I have fallen in love with Greedent. It is just about my favorite Pokemon now. The little happy squirrel Pokemon running around eating berries, spitting them back out as seeds, or just burping them up. I love this little thing. It's such a sneaky little squirrel that can get points scored in. It's so much fun to play with. There's not many games that I will really get into the competitive aspect of it, but grinding up in Unite has been so much fun, and I plan to keep doing it and keep playing competitively. The events and different playstyles that they do are really fun throughout the year, and I hope we continue seeing more of that, along with the introduction of more maps. There's something to be said about the microtransactions in it. Originally it was a lot more pay to win, and it got a lot of coverage as that, but over time I think they've improved that a lot with handing out more resources to level up your items. And the skins can have a very hefty price tag to them, but that can be kind of overlooked because it's just cosmetics. It doesn't give you any gameplay advantage. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. If you ever need a Greedent, Machamp, Cramorant, or Slowbro player on your team, hit me up. I got you. And that's it. That's my top 5 games of 2021. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I highly recommend every game on this list. You should definitely check them out. I'll also be releasing a video later on, like I mentioned, of my least favorite games from this year, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic 2022. Let me know what you're looking forward to down in the comments below. I'll see you guys later. Peace.